here I am with an old friend that I maybe haven't seen for 5 years, and last time we met, we played music together and it was awesome, but we didn't talk much about like gender identity or anything like that because we were just hanging out. So years later, we've met again, and this is me in a new form. What do you think?
I like it.
Nice.
I mean, it's pretty much the same as the old form.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like...
It's true.
I mean, really.
Did I have short hair last time? I can't remember.
No, yeah. I mean, there's superficial changes.
Yeah.
You had, your hair was longer.
What else?
But I mean...
Yeah, it's hardly noticeable. I mean,
otherwise,
it's like,
you are you.
Yeah. It's like once you meet someone, they kind of... I mean, you know their essence, you know the being that they are, and the outside changes with time no matter what. So it's like, that's interesting.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's kind of cool that it, like, I don't know, it's sort of like your personal thing.
Yeah. And
so I wasn't gonna like ask you any questions about it or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have curiosity or not? What do you have any curiosity?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. But there's like, I feel like it's not something I'm totally unfamiliar with.
Right. That's cool.
So,
because I mean, you live in a city and there's other people like this, you know, throughout life that you probably run into.
Yeah, and my girlfriend works with a lot of transgender people and just like people of all different, like all different kinds of identities.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've had experience and yeah. How's it been for you? I guess that's all my.
It's been crazy.
I guess most of my curiosities are like,
what's it been like, or
I guess I haven't really talked to somebody that deep about like the experience of being seen by the world one way, and then changing that, and then like being seen by the world a different way. Yeah,
that's a great sort of thing to think about, because the transition aspect of it is the thing that's really interesting to share. You know, like you see these different sides, and I think with time we'll have more conversations about that, and that's great. So it's it's wonderful for me to have such acceptance and like lack of shock, that sort of thing. Because that's what you would hope, and I mean, like years ago when we met, it was sort of through work. Like, who would have known that you were so awesome and accepting? And I feel very lucky. So now I got to think of like the meat. What's the meat of this story? Because it's so easy and smooth.
Yeah, I guess.
When you heard about me transitioning, it was like through a third party. What was that like to hear about when you just found out, like, oh, this person I met this one time years ago is now changing? How was that?
Yeah, sure. I guess, I mean, sometimes I wish that I had like a more exciting, like I was like shocked or something, but I kind of wasn't. Yeah. I just was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, like
that makes sense. Did it make sense? Did you kind of have any hint the first time we met that maybe this was in my future?
No. I mean, I guess no, but at the same time, it totally didn't surprise me either.
And that's good to know, because in my own perception of how I was, I always hope that people say like, yeah, you were such a man back then, I just was shocked that you were a woman, or whatever. Like, I always hope that stands out, but it sounds like it didn't, so that's information for me to I guess I seem more comfortable in my body than I actually was.
Sure, yeah. Well, no, I guess I'll put it this way, like, I guess there's so many different ways to be male or female, and so I guess if you sort of accept that fact first, then sort of the titles and the identity is sort of like up to the person, and to me it almost doesn't matter. Like, it didn't seem like you're being like a bad woman. Like, she's not very good at being a girl. I was failing, but because there's so many ways to be or be a man. And so that's why the transition is like, they make sense. Like, I guess I didn't necessarily think about the future of your gender identity that much, I guess.
Do you generally, when you look at people, kind of not care about that stuff, or like you could be friends with boys and girls and it doesn't make a difference? Or
I definitely think that's true.
You do? Like, it doesn't make a difference if you're friends with men or women? There's no...
And I would like to say that it doesn't make a difference, but one thing that I did think about related to you was how like a lot of times when I'm talking to male friends, I'll say like dude and man a lot. And I remember my girlfriend actually pointed that out to me, she's like, you know, you say that all the time. Like you're kind of like constantly like reinforcing that like we are like, you know, this is the gender role of our relationship.
Yeah.
And I guess I did think about that with you a little bit. I was like, oh, I guess I can call him dude and man and like, but I like, and that
a big change.
And that made me feel kind of weird. Like, you know, I like to think that I'm really, you know, like unaffected by society's gender pressures, but I'm totally affected by it, and I totally have assumptions about people, and it totally affects the way that I relate to people, and it's just something that, you know, I try to draw into question all the time, because it's not necessarily something I want, you know, I want to control that. I want to be able to be cool with it. Like, I don't want to sort of, I don't want to be like this voice box for like the weird pressures of a, you know, in a lot of ways like schizophrenic gender society. Like, I want to be cool about it.
Yeah.
So,
what a great message. That's a great message. And I think what I get out of this conversation as a conclusion, I would say, is that you are amazing. and it's like the way you're going about looking at the world is a way that I hope more people are able to do, and understand that it's not scary, it's not threatening. It's like to be open and, you know, to accept people. That's a good way to be.
And I think another like takeaway message for me that I've been thinking about recently is like, if you have like prejudices and assumptions, like don't be afraid to acknowledge them and like admit them and like try to work on changing them. Because I'm not perfect.
Exactly. Don't pretend like you're totally blind to everything and like, oh, I just, you know, I don't even make assumptions, that sort of thing. Just be like, I do make assumptions. Why? What do I, you know, what can I change? How can I?
Because I think everybody does to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's all about like not pushing them down, like like kind of drawing them out even.
Yeah,
and
thinking about them,
trying to make it better.
Yeah, make it better. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.